Okay, first let's try to Sysprep Windows 7. Here is the guide, here is the basic Sysprep file, here is the command line, and here we are going to run it. The system shuts down after it applies the Sysprep, I suppose. Then you can capture the image. Okay, now let's create a new image in the FOG interface. It's gonna be hardware name, Windows version, and some other details about the image. We select the storage group, default, and the image, one partition. It's okay to choose for one partition for Windows 7. FOG will take care of this by themselves. Then we go to the hosts, search for the computer that we want to take an image from. Choose list all hosts. And select the desired host which you have registered via the Pixie boot menu of the FOG server, choosing the quick host registration option. Now you have to associate the right image. And the right OS, because FOG is very picky about it. Update. Go to basic tools. Tasks. And choose, I can check if it's updated. Yes, it's updated. In basic tasks, you choose upload image. In task management, you can see if it's active or not. Now I'm going to power on the computer, so it will Pixie boot. And as you can see, the imaging process is starting. As you can see, the resizing partition part can take a little bit of time, some time. Now you see that the image is uploading. It's quite fast, 2 gigabits bytes per minute, and it says it's gonna be busy for 20 minutes, and the size of the image is around 30 gigs. Now you can see here that in the task management interface, the imaging process is displayed as an active task. Okay, let's leave it for a while. Now let's try to automatically domain join this Sysprep image. For it to be able to do this, we need the FOG hashing tool. So we go to the FOG server website to download FOG. Then we extract it. And in the extracted directory, you will be able to find FOGcrypt directory. The FOGcrypt is the tool that we need to be able to hash our password. Because the password must be hashed in the FOG interface. For using FOGcrypt, the correct syntax would be FOGcrypt exe, your password, encrypted password txt. Let's say our password is test. This way you would normally get a text file. Wait, I typed it wrong. This must go. Here you see, this is the hashed version of test passwords, like it says here. After hashing your password, you would go to the host. You want to automatically join the domain after the image is completed, it will be done via the FOG client that is already installed on the image. After you have FOG crypted your password over the main user that has rights to join computers to the domain, you go to the host management, you select your host in the list, you go to the Active Directory settings, you put the main user in here and the hashed crypted password in here. You update the settings, and now your computer should be normally automatically joined to the domain after the image task completion. Now, as you can see, the computer is has been automatically joined to the domain, so I can log in with the domain account. Now, to be able to image the computer, we are going to go to FOG interface and see how we image a computer. While it's loading, I'm gonna try to put up some little bit of music, because it's kind of boring sitting waiting for the slow communication. It's something with the network settings, but never mind. It's actually on a different network completely. So we go to the host management, list all hosts, select our host. Let's say we choose an XP image. I suppose this is the last good image I have of it. Of course, change the operating system type, update, basic tasks. deploy the image. Manage all computers. In task management, active task on this machine. Now we restart. And it should pixie boot. And start the imaging. Because on this machine I have set up pixie boot as the first boot option. It selects automatically and starts pixie booting once it gets the signal from the server. As it says, restoring partition from the image file. 30 gigs and something. Says it's gonna be busy like for 10 minutes or something. Okay, let's let it do its thing and wait for a while. As you can see now, after the image task completion, I only have to put the right computer name in. You can also completely automate the computer name, but you have to script it, I suppose. Somehow it came, I never did it. The ex-network administrator also used it to be able to check if every computer, to be actually forced to go and check if every computer image task completed successfully. Because if you automate the computer name or the whole imaging process completely, you can assume that it worked, but computers can be left with not completed imaging task, and that can be not fun. But anyway, for the XP and 7, for both I have to type computer name in. But even if I type the wrong computer name in, FOG will autocorrect it. It will detect with the agent installed on the image that the computer name of the computer has changed, and it will see which name has been put in the FOG interface for this computer, and it will change to the right computer name and join the main if it needs to. Okay, now after we have seen how we capture and deploy an image with the FOG server, let's see some few next steps that you can do with the FOG server and some other tools, another server, OCS server, to automate some installations and stuff. First of all, as the FOG server wiki says, you can create snap-ins. Snap-in, and they advise here to use install right, because the snap-in can be only an exe file that launches and does something automatically without interaction. They advise to use the install right, which can be used to capture installation procedures of some installation files, but it is not really a preferred method for doing silent installers on remotely on the machines. But if the program or the modification that you want to do doesn't support command line or silent commands, there is no other way than use install right to capture the modification. And FOG also don't know how to do silent command line installs, so actually it's kind of the only way. There is also mentioned something different here, but it's another thing. You can take a look at it by yourself. I found actually a very interesting idea. You can convert an executable with a batch file that runs this executable by a with a silent command to an exe file that you also can run as a snap-in the FOG server, which is also actually very interesting. This way you can actually do silent installers in normal way, kind of, on FOG server, because this capturing procedure with install right can capture other things that happen on the computer while you're installing the desired application, which is not interesting. To add a snap-in to a machine, you have to go to snap-in management. No, you have to go to host management, select your host, and in the snap-ins you can add a snap-in that you have already prepared. For example, my default snap-in that happens on XP image is update certificate. If I am not mistaken, this certificate is for the OCS server. I will come to this in a minute. So when you selected and added a snap-in to your computer, you can go to host management, and select basic tasks. There you will have advanced option near the deploy and upload options, and in advanced options you can select deploy single snap-in. I will do it now and select the snap-in that is already assigned to this machine here. deploy snap-in, and I will let it do it. Maybe in the process of looking at other things, we will notice that the snap-in will be deployed. Now I will force the refresh. Maybe it will help to speed it up. If you are new to silent installers, what you can do, you can go and download iNeo from the alternative to. Here's the link to the website. iNeo is a little CD with a few tools, basic stuff that you install on a Windows after installing a Windows, like Flash and codecs, that installs it by a batch file, which runs a few commands and even actually checks if the software is already installed and installs it. Take a look at how it works. It can help you see how you can silent install from programs from a command line. There is also something interesting that you can use for at home to install some stuff. You just select stuff and get installer, and it installs automatically. But another more interesting option I found lately is Chocolate. It's actually kind of a package manager that you use with PowerShell. That seems kind of very interesting. Another thing that is very useful is OCS server. That is actually inventory server, and you can do silent installations of software. That's one of the main purposes of this server. So you can go to your computer and add also some packages. I will delete these packages. You see, FOG snap-in just worked. So it updated actually the certificate for the OCS server. And now add a package that you have already prepared before. Let's first install iTALC. Is actually another interesting program. You see it's waiting notification. I will force the refresh now. In the application data I can see the log file, if it's actually doing anything. Actually, you can see here that is now changed, status changed to notified. And downloading log is also changed. So it's actually now going to download and install iTALC on this machine. you see the connection is secured with our certificates that we just updated with FOG server. I think there are 3 package fragments. Patches that you prepare and upload in the outside server are possible. It is possible to fragment these packages, so it if one of the fragments fails to download, that it re-downloads only one fragment of the package, then the whole package, to reduce network traffic. Maybe there are 5 packages, well, fragments.